This episode is brought to you by Trailer Park Yard Games, where over 28 games are delivered directly to your party. We park the trailer, you party.
So 10 days before closing, my client's dad calls me and says, my son was in a horrible accident. He's on a ventilator, and because of COVID, no one can visit him. And so they're going to have to push back closing, or possibly not even go through with the transaction. But what he didn't know was that his son had actually called me earlier that day from prison to let me know that he was arrested for being drunk and high and attempting to steal a police car.
But you know what? Everything is COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be sure to check in with your parents before you ask them to put in an alibi for you.
Yeah, I guess, because that's going to happen.
Let's have a chat, talk this and that with PB and Jaisy.
Well, welcome to the PB and Jaisy podcast. I'm Bill Stedham. I'm the lucky bee sandwiched between two beautiful women, and to my right is one of those individuals.
Thank you, Bill. I am the P. I put the P in the sandwich. It always sounds so gross, but I don't know how else to say it. So I listen to these back, and I never know how to do it differently. All that being said, I am the P, the pageant. This is a really long intro to the PB and Jaisy sandwich.
Well, and then next to you we have Twinkle Twinkle. Tell us about that.
My name's Twinkle. Would have been Twinkle in a different life. Thank you, Jesus, for my name is Jaisy. And I'm the lucky Jaisy that is sandwiched between two Sarahs today.
Yes.
You get a Sarah sandwich
Yes.
and a PB&J sandwich
Yes.
today.
Yeah, and Sarah, tell us about yourself.
All right, my name is Sarah Daniel, and I'm here representing Cloud Covered Streets with my esteemed colleague, Kenneth. He'll introduce himself as well, but we're with a nonprofit organization that's coming to Fort Worth to help those that are experiencing homelessness. So we're excited about telling you a little bit more about it today.
We can't wait to hear more about that. And Kenneth, tell just a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kenneth Miller. I work with Sarah as well as our other colleagues with the nonprofit organization called Cloud Covered Streets. We basically just hit the streets to help out all of those experiencing homelessness in Fort Worth, and just trying to help them get back on their feet completely.
Awesome.
Well, that's awesome. So we did some research. We're looking at it. I know Sarah's got more knowledge on it than all of us in this room, except for Sarah and Kenneth. But I'm
The
talking
other
about
Sarah.
Yeah.
the other Sarah. So we have Sarah 1 and Sarah 2.
Well, I did want to, because I noticed y'all both said experiencing homelessness. And I know that I am guilty of saying, a homeless person or they're homeless. So tell me about that and how you came around to that or saying it that way. How should we say it?
Yeah. Go ahead, Sarah. I'll let you kind of speak that one.
So we can't take full credit for Cloud Covered Streets. It actually originated in Phoenix by a gentleman named Robert Thornton. And he had another organization where he was creating shirts where he would help those who have special needs. They would design the shirts, and then he would go out and sell them. And they would give half the proceeds to whatever charity of choice that person had. So he had a shirt business. Well, then he's out in Phoenix and he notices all these people that are experiencing homelessness. So he starts talking to them and asks, what is it that you need the most? And so one of the answers, that he got the most was a shower. So that's where Cloud Covered Streets came into the picture. He started doing the street teams and going out and just meeting people. And the underlying factor is they're currently experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
It's not a permanent state.
Yes.
Awesome.
We are hoping to break that cycle and give them the resources, give them a shower to go in for a job interview with that confidence, with a new haircut, a new shirt. And so we don't want the homelessness to be a permanent stigma that comes with them. We hope that they will come out of homelessness.
So how do you get a shower to somebody that's homeless? So tell us about a little bit, or that's experiencing. See, I'm so bad about that. I'm learning. Experiencing homelessness.
Yes. So what we're going to have is a mobile shower that is a 28-foot cargo trailer that's currently being produced.
Awesome.
And it's going to have 3 showers. 2 of them will be regular, that steps you walk into, but then the back ramp of the shower of the trailer is going to come down, and it makes a great ramp for an ADA accessible shower.
Awesome.
Because a lot of people that are experiencing homelessness are disabled and need a little extra, assistance with getting in with a wheelchair. So, such a great concept. And then there's going to be another room that's going to have a washer and dryer in it. So we'll have 2 washers and dryers where people can come in and do their laundry, as well as get a shower.
What a great concept.
That's
I've
amazing.
looked online. I looked at the website
Mhm.
for cloud covered streets that they have in Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, I believe it is.
Yes.
And was looking at the pictures, and they had before and after pictures of someone experiencing homeless that was walking in, and you could tell they haven't had a haircut or a shower, and then the after section of it. That's got to be a great feeling to be able to help somebody and do that.
Yes.
Kenneth, how do you get involved in something like that?
I actually got involved by these wonderful ladies, Sarah, Margaret, Robert as well, because they thought that I would be a great cognitive influence to this, because of course for me, I have always been one to volunteer, especially downtown Fort Worth, anywhere I can go. I think I've gone to Grand Prairie once to volunteer and just volunteer my time to, whether it be for Thanksgiving to hand out food. And the reason why most of us, I feel, have that kind of need to say homelessness is because that's all we know.
Right.
The reason why we say experiencing homelessness is because, of course, when it comes to the shower, when it comes to washing their clothes, like you said, the before and after, they go in feeling that way, and then afterwards we have them feeling a completely different way. They feel good about themselves. They feel clean. They feel like they're on top of the world.
They probably feel human.
Yes.
I mean,
Because of course, a lot of them, I personally have gotten to talk to a lot of them within this last month and a half, and a lot of them feel like, we label them as less than what they are.
For sure.
And they're still human.
For sure.
They're still, they still bleed, they still have feelings and everything like that. And so with this trailer, they can come in, basically, as we say, wash off all of everything that they've been experiencing for the past months, even years some.
Right.
That's amazing. I've seen a lot of videos before of people who are experiencing homelessness, and they have these amazing stories to tell,
Yes.
or a lot of them are like beautiful musicians, or they can sing beautifully and all of
Yes.
these things. But when people see them, they just see, oh, it's a hobo or
Mhm.
whatever
Exactly.
kind of thing,
Exactly.
instead of seeing the person.
Yes.
So that's amazing that you guys are giving them the opportunity to be their true selves.
Yes.
And there are lots of great resources already in Fort Worth where people can go into shelters and such and get showers, but that's not readily available for everybody. So that's where the mobile shower comes in great, because we can get to those places and those locations where people can't naturally get to. A lot of them don't have a vehicle to drive over to the shelter or anything like that. So that's the beauty of the mobile shower, is if the city comes in and tears down the tent city where they've been staying and now they have to move down the road a mile, hey, we can move down the road a mile too, as long as we can find property to put our trailer on and a water hookup for them to go in and get the showers there.
That's awesome. And see, and I had no idea, and this is just part of, like y'all were talking about, being educated about the situation and about what's around us in our community. But if you guys are familiar with Fort Worth at all, off Lancaster is really where the big kind of, I hate to use the word hub, but that's really where a lot of these guys are, guys and gals, experiencing homelessness. And I had the opportunity to drive through there, and we did a little bit of outreach, but just seeing how many people were there, it was shocking, it was eye-opening, it was sad, and it just and it's around the corner. It's less than 10 minutes down the road for me, and my world changes.
Yes.
So, and how do you guys get other people in the community to help, or do y'all have volunteer opportunities? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, we have multiple volunteer opportunities. We have our Fort Worth page, Cloud Covered Streets, that people can go onto, volunteer their time, because of course, we want as many people. We don't stop, after we have 100 volunteers or whatever. The more the merrier, because like you said, we want to educate as many people as we possibly can to what is in our community. We call them our neighbors because, like you said, they literally are 5-10 minutes away from some of us, just out in the world, period. Right. And so like when you come into contact with them, you start realizing, like you said as well, Sarah, or Jaisy.
There's too many Sarahs.
There's too many.
You can call us all Sarah. That's fine. Somebody will answer.
It's crazy because some of them I've actually gotten to know, and they have amazing talents. Whether they can sing, one person is great with his hands and builds stuff in his community for everybody around. And it's just one of those, like, you never know what talents these people have until you get to know them. And that's why this getting more volunteers and letting other people see what these people have is amazing. For me, it's made me cry, it's made me get emotional in all different kinds of ways, because of course, when you help someone, Robert tells us all the time, when someone who's experiencing homelessness gets back on their feet, they are increased almost 18 and a half to 19 years more of their life.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
And that is the statistics that he's brought up to us. And it's crazy, because you think, okay, 18 years, that's a lot. But of course, to someone who's experiencing it for years, that is life-changing to them.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so getting volunteers to kind of see that and kind of see how they can change someone's life throughout weeks, months, and even years, it makes you feel like you're on top of the world as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we're going to rely on volunteers a lot once
Yes.
the shower's up and running. I'm going to say early this fall.
Yes.
We're going to want people, we want hairstylists to come out and donate their time to be able to give those transformations of the before and after pictures, because their eyes just light up.
It is, yeah.
After they see themselves in the mirror, it's like, that's
I
me.
think it even gives some hope of
Right.
Yes.
this is what I could attain
My potential.
lifelong, as I have this hope and I can start looking for a job and,
Yes.
all these things. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So job placement, are you involved in any of that? Do you help them get a job? Or
We will actually.
Yes.
We will actually employ 2 people that we meet that are experiencing homelessness,
Mhm.
and they are going to help us to run the shower. We're going to be out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the DFW area, mostly Tarrant County is what we're focusing on, Fort Worth, and so yeah, we're just hoping that we can give them a job, have something to put on their resume, help them build a resume if they don't have one. We'll have Kenneth will go and pick them up because he's going to be our operations manager. So he's going to
Okay.
be there every day running everything and pick them up and let them, come and work and
That's
give them a
awesome.
paycheck. We'll pay them half up front and then we'll save the other half for them. That way they don't have a lot of money on them on the streets, because if people find that out, they could unfortunately, have an altercation and have
Right.
it stolen from them. So we'll save half of it for them. So by the end of that 2-month period that we're going to employ them for, they will have a nice little nest egg to maybe have a down payment in our apartment or get a vehicle, something like that. And then we'll work really closely with them during those 2 months, learn about them, what type of crafts do they have
Yes.
that they can hopefully find a job during that time period as well. And then we'll also have the laptop set up at the trailer so people can come in and, any of our guests that are visiting us, they can come in and get a computer access to be able to go and
Make
hopefully find a
resumes.
job.
Well, and I have a question, because I really think, part of it is knowing that anybody could end up in that situation, right? I mean, we're all
Yes.
fortunate enough that we're not in that situation today, but, who knows? So what do y'all see most commonly? I know there's a ton of veterans. We see
Yes.
that a ton, which is super sad to me, but what do y'all see most commonly as the issue, or is there something that's reoccurring there that's caused them to, be where they're at?
I would definitely say, for me, because I'm out there on the streets more than most of our employees and everything, it's like you said, it's veterans, and it's also people, especially with the COVID, that had a job and then lost it and then just kept falling. I've met 2 or 3 where they said they just had a home this last year,
Wow.
and it's just one of those. They lost their job, they couldn't find another job, and they just became homeless at that point. And for me, hearing some of these stories, like you said, it's one thing that changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they grew up in experiencing homelessness or, anything like that. It's just one thing changed. And that's something that Robert had kind of explained to us when we started up the Fort Worth was, when you start to meet these people, you'll realize that this could be you.
Right.
Because of course, it's not a chain event or anything like that. It's just one thing changed, and then it just spiraled from there.
Right.
I'm not going to mention their names, but I can definitely tell you one story. It's a husband and wife. They both worked. She had a seizure while she was at work, and the job fired her immediately because she had broken some things.
Oh my goodness.
And then he lost his job with COVID. And so with her health, him being out of a job, they tried to go live with family, and family didn't want them there.
Oh my gosh.
And, you know, like you said, thankfully, most of us have family and friends that we can go to, but there are some that don't, or that they just don't have the close-knit family that they can go to, or that they live, you know, out of state. And if you don't have the means to go out of state and go be with those people, you're kind of stuck.
You know, one doesn't think about the effects of COVID and what could happen there. And of course, there's been some government invention to stop some homelessness.
Yes.
But that'll be ending soon.
It is.
Agreed.
So when that ends,
We're hoping that the numbers don't get more,
okay,
but we
The
don't know.
reality is that it
Yeah.
likely will.
Well, and have y'all seen a retraction of volunteers during COVID? Because I know for us, even going down there were people like, well, I just don't know. And do I wear gloves? Do I wear a mask? And, you know, and it's almost, I don't know, it almost like it was a stigma or something to be amongst, you know, the people, you know, experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
It's like, I mean, Jaisy could be just as contagious with whatever she
Sure.
has, you know. No, but really, and you know, not to
Agreed.
joke, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yes, a lot of people still feel, and I'm one of those. You protect yourself. If you feel personally you want to wear a mask when you're volunteering, wear a mask. If you feel like you need to wear gloves, wear gloves. Me, I'm not, because of course for me, I want them to know as well that they're human. Like you said, I could have COVID and I could be going down there and giving it to them. But of
Right.
course, I have to protect myself and I have to protect them. So
Right.
take all the precautions you have when you're volunteering, but also just know what it may look like to them
Right.
whenever you're doing those things. Because of course, like we have hand sanitizers in our vehicles. You know, when we get back to them, we wash our hands like, you know, the CDC has told us. But when you're volunteering, definitely protect yourself and just know like you have to do whatever you can to protect you and your family, but also be mindful to protect them as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And be mindful of how you're making them feel. Like you said, you
Yes.
know, you're not like handing them something and like you're afraid. You know,
Yes,
they're
yes.
just people.
But to me, I feel like, okay, taking those precautions to what's going to make you feel comfortable. Like if you don't feel comfortable and you feel like you need to wear a mask or gloves and things like that, that shouldn't be something that stops you from
Agreed.
helping.
And that's something that I will say. Like, yes, if you feel like, you know, that's your mindset already, is that you may get it from them. No, you may get it from somebody from
Mhm.
Walmart. Or
Yeah.
you may get someone from the gas
You're
station.
definitely going to get something from somebody at Walmart.
so I
Guaranteed.
have a question. You mentioned something. Yours is more of showers and helping the job placement
Mhm.
and haircuts, but they have to eat. And you had mentioned earlier in the beginning, you said something like Thanksgiving dinner. Of
Mhm.
course, I'm a big foodie. I like to cook, and we like to volunteer and do things like that.
Mhm.
Do you take care of meals also, or do you have assets to point them towards or resources to point them towards in that?
So we're hoping to partner with some places that are already providing those services to those experiencing homelessness. So like our Monday location, we already have that secured. It's going to be a place called Community Crossroads, and they're already serving breakfast and lunch to those experiencing homelessness. So they already have that crowd coming in and have a reputable rapport with those people. So it's going to be a perfect combination. So we're looking for more places like that that are already helping, and then we'll also want to partner with anybody who's wanting to have, if they want to have a food truck and come and serve. While
I know someone that is
Yeah.
volunteering
Yes.
his abilities. This man and his wife both are
Awesome.
amazing cooks. You know, I think the potato salad. I would
Yeah.
volunteer the day that you guys serve food just for the potato salad.
Okay.
But no,
Sarah's trying to get in on the food when it's supposed to be for the.
I will work for it. No, but they do like brisket and, you know, all that kind of stuff,
Right.
smoked
Okay.
meat.
Yeah.
And Michael as well. I mean, I'll voluntold him as well, but that would be a really cool way
that would be
to.
a great way to partner. Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
we did want to organize something like that, maybe we wanted to get a group of people together that we took on a day or a segment
Mhm.
where we could do that. Would we work something like that through you?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Cloud Covered Streets Fort Worth is our Facebook page, and that's where, we kind of share any of the stories of Kenneth Street missions, any of our volunteer opportunities. Those are all listed there. And then, all of us that are the admins that are involved would, you can reach out to us through the Facebook channel, and we could definitely get that set up. It would be great. We hope to see 30 to 50 people each day that we take the trailer out.
Yes.
And so just knowing that, that amount of food to hopefully
So,
be able to provide.
Prepackaged in containers already?
It could be prepackaged.
Yes.
It could be, if you want to set it up and, serve plates.
Well, and we
whatever
do
works
have
best.
the Mr. Jim's in Midlothian. Shout out to Daniel and Lena Cooper. They have decided to donate pizzas. I think they said they would give us 20 or 30 pizzas for free, and then $5 a pizza after. So that's something we could do. And so they would provide that. That would be an easy, an easy meal. But you also said hairstylist.
Yes.
What else?
What are their volunteers?
And then just volunteers to help run the trailer, because other than Kenneth, we also have Mark, who's going to be helping us actually bring the trailer out each day.
Okay.
And then we'll employ the 2 people. Everybody else that we're relying on to run the showers is going to be volunteers.
And then what about donations? Because I've seen y'all getting shoes, clothing, toiletry items. Is there anything that you guys are low on or never have enough of?
Right now, we are well stocked up, but we haven't started doing our everyday,
So we're just
showers.
stockpiling right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're doing, a handful of street missions on a daily basis. But just following the Facebook page is going to tell you what our needs are. We're about to launch a fundraiser to pay for the trailer itself.
Yes.
And then monetary donations is going to be huge. It's going to cost $13,000 to $15,000 a month to run the trailer operations.
Wow.
And so we're going to have an event on October 24th at Longhorn Saloon in Fort Worth, and that's going to be a music event, and there's going to be lots of great raffle prizes and auction items, and so we will use that as an opportunity to raise hopefully 2 to 3 months worth of operation costs for the trailer. So monetary donations will be very huge.
And y'all also said you were looking for private property.
And private property.
And that's around that, anywhere in Fort Worth or?
Anywhere in Fort Worth where a lot of those experiencing homelessness congregate. We want to make it to where it's, somewhat easily to get to.
Okay.
And so, like I said, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when we want to be out. So just need private property. That way we don't have to get any permits. And then water hookup, and then access to the gray water system to empty the gray water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So what other needs that we didn't talk about might you have? Do you have enough people to volunteer? Obviously you need people to volunteer, but are there things, let's say you have a businessman that can't get away, but wants to do some on the backside, maybe has some talents on artistic needs, marketing, things like that. Is that something that y'all could use?
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
pretty much take everything.
Yeah, anything and
Awesome.
everything. I mean, it doesn't matter. Anybody that wants to donate, whether it's their time, whether it's, like you said, their work of whatever they do, we accept everything. We're accepting donations for food like you were talking about. We basically bring up like grab bags is what we call it. We put Pop-Tarts in there, little snacks for them throughout the day, waters, because of course with Texas, it's so hot outside. The shirts are in it, the toiletries, like you were saying, hygiene products and everything like that. So anything and everything that people donate, we put into those grab bags for them. Food, as far as it's nothing like, like you said, like snacks or what we kind of put in there, because of course, with it being so hot.
Yeah. Don't bring anything perishable.
Yeah, nothing
Don't
perishable,
donate
yes.
some hummus or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going to do with that.
Yeah.
No chocolate in
Yeah.
August in
But
Texas.
with anybody, like you said, that, has any kind of talent that may not be able to volunteer their time, we definitely tell them, still come.
Well, I have
donate.
time but no talent, so I would be happy to help.
that-
But your husband
whatever.
has talent.
That's
It might
true.
be
I have some live music there
Yes.
for him.
Yeah.
So
I will make him do it whatever you want.
awesome. Our October 24th benefit will have lots of musicians.
Heck yeah.
It'll be a great day. So
Did you know Sarah sings also?
I have heard you sing.
I
We wait till everyone's drunk
No,
then they call me up.
no, you're absolutely fantastic.
Jai.
You
I'm
know,
gonna give you
we
5
have,
minutes to stop. What else are you gonna say about it?
yeah, you know, I could say a lot of great things.
And one
But
last,
you're not.
one last thing too, as far as corporate sponsorships, that's also something that we're going to have available. We're working on a sponsorship packet that'll be on the main website. So also cloudcoveredstreets.org. Once we're live with the Fort Worth location, it's going to have both the Phoenix and Fort Worth locations listed there, and that's where everybody will be able to sign up.
And are those the only 2 locations so
Those
far?
are the only 2.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll also put our sponsorship packet out there. On the back of our trailer, there's going to be some options to have some corporate logos on there. So there's going to be annual fees that are associated with that. If you'd like to have your trailer, your logo on our trailer that's going out in Fort Worth every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's going to be
That's awesome.
great opportunity.
Awesome.
I heard you just briefly say October 24th. What's going on that day?
Yes. So at Longhorn Saloon in Fort Worth, we are going to have our first annual Cloud Covered Streets benefit.
Yes.
Official
excited.
name to be determined. So we're in the very early stages of planning
Stay
that.
tuned.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah, hopefully doors should open at 1. Music will start at 2. So we'll just have some musicians playing throughout the day. Looking for items for if anybody wants to donate any items for the auction. For the raffles that we're going to have. So just raise as much money as we can to get those operational costs.
Well, our Trailer Park Games trailer will definitely donate. So
nice.
we'll donate a rental at least.
That would be great.
And then I'm sure Bill will donate something.
Yes, we will definitely have something that we're going to
Donate,
donate.
we'll do something.
Well, and
we got
Sarah
some
has
time to
actually
think about it.
attended some of our Easter
Boots
Seals
and
events. So
barbecue.
yeah, so we got to repay.
We can. We will
Right.
definitely be there. We will definitely donate,
Nice.
and we'll go from there. You know, one of the things that we do in this segment, we have something we call Tales from the Lockbox.
Yes, so I've got a great tale. I wish great.
Quit bragging.
Twinkle, twinkle.
About it.
Tom just shook his head yes and winked. It was really
That's how I make my dollars. So this one was submitted through Reddit, and it's pretty funny. I wish I would have said it whenever we had Brian Bledsoe on, because it does have some police in it. But so 10 days before closing, my client's dad calls me and says, my son was in a horrible accident. He's on a ventilator, and because of COVID, no one can visit him. But and so they're going to have to push back closing, or possibly not even go through with the transaction. But what he didn't know was that his son had actually called me earlier that day from prison to let me know that he was arrested for being drunk and high and attempting to steal a police car. So,
Wow.
But you know what?
You know.
Everything is COVID.
yes.
Yeah.
Be
Everything
sure to
is
check in
COVID.
with your parents before you ask them to put in an alibi for you.
Yeah, I
That's
guess,
awesome.
because that's going to have all types of issues. You know, after that, after we get the lying story, we probably should level up a little.
Yes.
Yeah, so today for Level Up, I found a really cool quote from Lily Tomlin. It says, I always wondered why somebody didn't do something about that. Then I realized that I was somebody. So I thought that was really cool.
That's
And
good.
and my encouragement to you guys is just look for some of those gaps and those voids that you can feel. And for me, as a Christian, just reaching out and asking God to give me the opportunity to serve, you will have more than enough opportunity to do so. So be careful what you ask for. But
right.
for sure, if you ask, he will definitely show you where you're needed and where you can serve.
And I
So
think if you're listening to this podcast, I think we just told you somewhere that you are needed.
Yes. So-
that you can. So if you're driving down the street and you see someone experiencing homelessness and you're like, I wish somebody would do something about that, you.
that's you.
can do
That's your
something
call.
about that.
Well, and I did see something online, and it's just like little care packages that you can keep in your car. Nothing that will melt, of course. Like Kenneth talked about, it's super hot here. But things like deodorant and toothpaste and toothbrush or a
I've seen
comb,
those.
and
Yeah.
just in
They've got
Ziploc
like
bags.
beef jerky and stuff in it, so it's easy snacks. That
Right,
aren't
stuff
gonna-
that's not going to go bad, and just have some stuff like that on you. But if not, reach out again. If you don't want to go and do, your money is just as good. Yeah, we'll figure something to do with it. But yeah, just as a message to everybody to find something and somewhere to plug in, and because you never know when you might be on the other end of that and needing the same thing. So
Yes.
Fantastic. And today's show's been great. If you've enjoyed listening to the PB and Jaisy podcast, you can find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We encourage you to download it, share it with somebody, and let them know about us, especially let them know about this show. We out.
we out.
Bye.
Bye.
Just had a chat, talk this and that with PB